valve.
Green.
These drivers put on a great show
on every type of track.
driving these cars, banging off of each other.
No, he gets sideways. Get off the racetrack. There he goes, trying to make the path. If you're a driver trying to get in, you get little opportunities like that. Watch how hard these guys are going to drive.
Checkered flag in the air.
Checkered flag there, champion.
The NASCAR K&N Pro Series West is getting ready for race number 11 of 2014. The drivers are down in the pit area as we get ready for tonight's Bakersfield 150 presented by GPS. There are 14 races on the schedule. 3 tracks hold 2 events a season, and Kern County Raceway is on hand tonight, the second event of the season, and the crowd has packed in here on a very hot and steamy night. Hi, everybody. I'm Ray Dunlap along with Phil Parsons. We'll hear from Heather DeBow in just a few moments. The cars are on the grid here as we get ready for another beautiful night of racing here in Central California.
And what a beautiful facility, too, here. As you mentioned, sweltering heat here, 91 degrees at race time.
Great points battle going on in the West Series right now. Lupton in second, Brandon McReynolds back in third. And let's hear from Heather now down trackside. Heather, we've had a rich racing history here in the Bakersfield area.
Thanks, guys. The K&N West Series history here in Bakersfield is a long one. From 1977 to 2005, they held 45 events at Mesa Marin Raceway. Now, after that track closed, they built Kern County Raceway as its replacement, and it opened in 2013. Now, this marks the 3rd race we have raced here at this racetrack, but with this smooth racing surface and wide racing groove, we're going to see plenty of side-by-side action, Southern California style.
Well, thank you, Heather. They did have a lot of great events over the years out in Mesa Marin, but boy, what a beautiful facility we have here, Phil. And I want to know what you think it's going to take to win tonight.
Well, track position is always important on these little short tracks, Ray, and you also want a lot of forward bite here. These cars have a tendency to spin the tires up off the corner. You want to make sure you keep the rear wheels on these cars, and also you have to be versatile. If your car's not working on the bottom, you have to move up, find someplace else to run.
Let's hear from the guy with fast qualifying time.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm here with a guy who has an average starting position of 2nd and an average finishing position of 1st, tonight's pole sitter, Greg Persley. Now, Greg, what is the trick to getting around this fast half-mile oval?
I don't know. Ever since they opened this place, we kind of fell in love with it. I used to race old Mesa Marin track in Bakersfield and came here and ran some laps and fell in love with it here. So we've just had Jerry and the guys gave us a great car again, and just got to thank Gene Price Motorsports for giving me a good car every time we come here, and hopefully we can make it to the end and fight for the win again.
Now, you mentioned the win again. You won from the pole last race here back in May. Can you finish that and do a repeat today?
I sure hope so. It'd be nice to win 3 in a row here, but there's a lot of stiff competition out here, and all we can do is try and save our stuff and be there at the end.
All right, Greg Persley with his 2nd pole this season.
And, Phil, a lot hotter night tonight than when we raced here earlier this season.
Yeah, certainly is here. But Greg Persley really has this place dialed in here. 2 for 2 the 2 times the series has visited this racetrack.
Big, long straightaways here at Kern County. We'll get ready to set the starting lineup when we come back. Cars are on the grid, ready to go racing for tonight's Bakersfield 150. You know, a year ago, James Bickford had a breakout season. He won the track championship at All-American Speedway, and it's been quite a rookie season for him. For more on that, let's get back down trackside to Heather.
Thanks, guys. I spoke to the 6 team earlier today, and they are looking to raise the bar tonight with this being their 2nd race here at Kern County Raceway. Now, James Bickford told me he is excited and that he has a strong, fast race car. His crew chief, Bill Sedgwick, also told me he is very pleased with James so far this season and that he is very good at saving his equipment. Now, Bill, however, said he wouldn't mind if James used his equipment up just a little bit more and got a little more aggressive. So look for that 6th car to step it up tonight.
Thank you, Heather. He will start in 6th position this evening. And on the pole, once again, as we said, Greg Persley. How about this, Phil? A time of 18:25. That's 98 miles an hour average.
Yeah, almost 100 miles an hour here for this little fast track. And remember, these corners are only banked from 12 to 14 degrees, though. But this surface is fairly new. A lot of grip in this racetrack.
Nice and smooth, and we do have progressive banking in the corners. And we see Persley is on the outside of the front row. Down to the inside, that will be Brandon McReynolds as the pace car rolls him through turns 1 and 2. Let's take a look at our starting lineup tonight. As we said, Persley on the pole, and to the inside, Brandon McReynolds.
See David Mayhew, the 17 car back there in row number 2. He was a track champion here last year in the super late model division. Backed off his West schedule a little bit, ran locally here. He won I think he won 15 times in 22 events.
That's a pretty good season. So Mayhew knows his way around. He'll be in 3rd. Jesse Little rolls off 4th. And as we mentioned, Bickford in 6th. Taylor Kuzik will roll off 7th. Here's the second group in the field. We see Rich DeLong and Rich DeLong the 3rd.
Yeah, father and son here.
All right, the cars are lined up 2 by 2 as they get ready to come out to turn number 4. Can Greg Pursley have another dominating night? We'll find out together. Green flag is in the air.
Nice early jump by Pursley from the outside there. Brandon McReynolds right on his bumper.
Second row, Mayhew trying to stay side by side, but it looks like Jesse Little will get that position, put him into 3rd. And Brandon McReynolds in the first lap of the race gets a little contact with the wall.
He definitely bounced off the wall coming off of turn number 4 there. Doesn't seem to have hurt that car much. See Jesse Little, the 97, trying to work by on the inside.
Have to get a closer shot of that Napa number 16 and see if he got the quarter panel pushed in on the tires at all, or sometimes you can even knock the spoiler sideways back there.
Greg Pursley right now just on cruise control here.
Here comes Little down to the inside. Phil, he's going to try to make a move on Brandon McReynolds. Can't make that bottom stick, or can he?
Caution is on the racetrack right now. I believe we have an issue for Zach Huffman. The 38 car's had a problem. Look at the back of that car, Greg.
Oh, yeah, he's hit the wall a lot harder than Brandon McReynolds did on the right rear quarter panel of the number 38.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage to that 38 car. A lot of stuff going on here in the first 3 or 4 laps.
Man, I'll tell you.
Take a look at Brandon McReynolds here as we exit turn number 4. You see he's just a little bit wide. Catches the wall with the right rear corner, and that swings the right front around in.
That was just a kiss compared to Zach Huffman's.
No, that's for sure. But you want to make sure that doesn't affect the toe end on that car. When you hit with the front, a lot of times it'll screw up the toe end with the right front tire.
Safety crew heading out to the track. They'll take a look real quick to make sure there's no debris in the way. We're underway with the Bakersfield 150.
This is
ready to go back to racing here in Bakersfield. While we were away, we had a quick restart, and actually the lineup shuffled just a little bit. David Mayhew was able to get by Jesse Little and take over 2nd spot. Here we go, back to green. Mayhew now down to the inside of Greg Pursley, and a tough start for the guys in the back.
Certainly was here. Side by side now in a battle for 3rd. Jesse Little, the 97 on the outside. Brandon McReynolds, the 16 on the inside.
Jesse Little runs full-time in the K&N Pro Series East, just dabbles a bit out here in the West Series, but with an off weekend, a good time to come play.
Yeah, winner earlier this year at Loudon, New Hampshire in the East Series. Rookie of the year last year.
Boy, that was a good race, wasn't it?
Certainly was.
No reason to think we won't see the same tonight as they go out of turn number 4 and back down the front straightaway. Phil, this is an interesting racetrack. This is our first time doing television here, and they've got that little oval in the front of the grandstand, but when you look at this thing, boy, it looks like a big D shape.
It really does. It looks a lot like Richmond or even Iowa. So, and those are great racetracks to be patterned after, too.
Absolutely. Gives guys a lot of room to run. We'll see them on the top and the bottom tonight here at Kern County Raceway.
There's 19-year-old Kelly Admiral in the 83 car from Canada, leading Jeremy Doss in the 88 car. That's a battle up inside the top 10.
Doss in a Ford. Guys get around this racetrack in a hurry for sure. And here comes Mayhew. He's going to try to put some pressure on Pursley. Got right up to the back bumper, then had to jab the brakes a bit.
See, Greg has moved up the racetrack a little bit there. He's running about the middle. There's a lot of room on this racetrack. Again, remember the progressive banking makes that high groove banked even more. We don't see a whole lot of rubber outside the second groove right now. We'll see if these guys work it up any.
We talk about Mayhew's experience here at this track, and obviously Pursley being 2 for 2. But Mayhew in that late model, a very different kind of a race car. Do you have to take a different line at this this track?
I don't think you have to take a different line, but you certainly drive it differently. But Mayhew told me in the garage area that he really let one get away. He was battling for the lead with Greg Pursley here in that first race this year and got hung up behind a slow car. Actually moved all the way back to fourth. He got one of those spots back before the end of the race, finished third, but he said that one's going to hurt a long time.
It was a disappointing win for him for sure.
See, these two guys have pulled away from the third place car right now. Jesse Little by a few car lengths.
Mayhew has got to make some kind of a statement here in our final 3 or 4 races of the season if he's going to have anything to say about Pursley's championship. Obviously, yellow is out once again, our third caution tonight here at Kern County Raceway. Oh, big damage for the 51 of Carlos Vieira.
Yeah, pretty significant contact right there for Carlos Vieira. See, the right front tire appears to be down right now, but it's hard to tell whether that right front tire went down before or after the contact with the outside wall, but a lot of damage to that car.
That's going to be a done for the night, I'm sure, by as much damage as they have on that right front.
Yeah, tough break for Carlos. Got a 10th place finish early this year at Irwindale, California.
Yellow flag is out once again, and the safety crew right there to check on Carlos. Carry a lot of speed at this racetrack, and one little problem can really make a big difference. Let's see if he's
just way out of the groove there. Boy, it sure has the looks of a tire going down, Ray.
Yep. Obviously, we saw some sparks from underneath the chassis before he made that contact over there in turn number 4. So 37 laps complete of 150. We got Mayhew and Pursley with a great battle up front. As we said, Jesse Little coming out to play in the West Series a bit. He's having a great run tonight.
Brandon McReynolds holds down that 4th spot. We're seeing double in row number 3 with the 6 and the 9, both Sunrise Fords for Bickford and Lupton.
Been a good season for each of those young men driving for Brancati.
Dylan Lupton, his worst finish this year is 8th. Every finish in the top 10.
And that's what's kept him right in this points battle, too. So Lupton coming in second in the points tonight behind Greg Pursley, hoping to capitalize a bit tonight. Here we go. They're lined back up. Nice 2x2 formation. And Greg Pursley will come to the restart. Once again, green flag's back out.
A nice little jump by Pursley. Brandon McReynolds has a good jump on the outside, trying to pull up alongside Mayhew. Not able to do it this time.
I have a feeling David Mayhew may have watched that restart from Greg Pursley and said, I got to get better at that for sure.
Yeah, Greg Pursley's been on the button here. David Mayhew also has a very, very good car here. Again, had a good car, as we talked about, first race this year. Jesse Little now pulls to the inside in the battle for third.
Side by side, 97 goes down to the inside of Brandon McReynolds. He's got the preferred line. Can he make it stick on the bottom? Good side-by-side racing here, and Jesse Little gets just not as good a run off of the corner.
Yeah, Brandon McReynolds got a good run off the corner from the high side of the racetrack. Again, really easy to spin the tires there, and a little bit easier to spin the tires down on the bottom than it is the top.
You know, Phil, we go to Iowa twice a year for combination events. We've got the East and the West together. And I always love to watch that race. It's great competition, but it's always fun, too, to see one of these interlopers come from another division. We see some of these West guys go run an East race here and there, and vice versa tonight for Jesse Little. Obviously, his dad grew up on the West Coast and ran in this series and was a former champion.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Jesse Little actually made his first West Series start at Phoenix last November, and he finished second in that race.
Oh, 88's got problems.
Yeah, Jeremy Doss was running up in the top 10. He's made some contact with the outside wall.
He's obviously come to a stop there. I couldn't quite tell if he hit the wall or whether he just had an... Oh, yep, definitely has some damage on the right front.
Yeah, you can see that left rear tire that's pushed out from the quarter panel, so that's moved the rear end housing over.
The Tire Factory Ford having problems here for Dawson.
See what happens when he gets down here. And not sure if he got loose getting down in the corner, Ray, and then just got up in the loose stuff there.
It didn't look the same as Zach Huffman's crash. It was definitely different there.
Let's take another look. He's already into the outside wall there. Again, you get out of where the dark black is, and it's pretty dirty up there where all the debris collects.
He did a nice job of keeping it up on the top of the racetrack after the contact, though, but it appears that might be a evening for Jeremy Doss, making a first start here in the K&N Pro Series West. We need another commercial break. Back after this.